Okay, I'm at Hamilton College in upstate New York. We have a user community of about 2,500 students and faculty. We're currently on 6.5.3, and the library's got its own IT staff, myself and my assistant. We split up. He's got desktop digital library. I've got Voyager and servers and networking issues. So we took a look at, we're planning on going to 7 in May, but starting in January, started looking at the preview server and was trying to see what we could do with patron authentication. And I realized some of my initial frustrations were with kind of the theory of operations of using the OPAC. One model is that you go in, and whenever you need to do something that requires authentication, it asks you to authenticate. And that's kind of what you see in 7. So let me show you, for example, if we have a current search. We search for something, and it will give you some options to take some actions. It doesn't know if you're logged in or not. Necessarily, this action box appears whether you're logged in or not. So what we kind of did was decide to turn it on its head a little bit. What we have at Hamilton College, I got very nervous, I'm sorry, is the campus portal where we share our patron file overnight with the web team, and we give them last name, barcode, and email address. We key on the email address. It's unique across campus. And so when folks go to our campus portal and are presented with a link to our catalog, its URL string will log them through to the OPAC. And we can do that in 7 already, 7 also. So our test presumption, because we're just kicking the tires and going for a test drive, is that, well, what if you did know everything about the patrons? So you'd come into the catalog and be logged in as Scott. Is Scott around anymore? Scott Hayes. So we're looking at, for example, the white space. Scott Hayes is logged in. It doesn't tell you anything else there. What if the system could tell you more information? Kind of like Amazon. You're logged in. The features are great. You can go to my account. And here's a nice box. What if this could be up in the header? Wouldn't that be nice to be able to do, for instance? How to get that to work and so forth, I'm not sure. But we're trying to eliminate multiple steps and clicking in order to get actions accomplished in this test drive. So let me go back to the action box. So if a faculty member logs in, the faculty member is going to want to make certain requests that are different than a student. The faculty member might want to compile a list of items to be delivered to themselves, or want, in this case on a particular item record, deliver this to my office. So how do we send that request? If you look at the code for this email widget, it's just one single method. And I think it's hard-coded in the properties file. What we'd like is for that to be modular. Allow us to change that, to have multiple email requests in the action box. That way, for example, if we chose to use that, we could direct one email to our Ask to Buy account if it turned out this particular item was lost. And the faculty member was like, this is really important, we should buy another copy. Or deliver this to my office, and that would get routed to the appropriate circ desk that would then fulfill it. That kind of thing. Or maybe when the staff member logs in, if you could identify what the patron group was for this patron, don't bother showing this necessarily to a student. Just the option of being a little bit more flexible about customizing the screen. Another idea and I'm throwing these out at random here, is, okay, so let's go to make a request. I don't know if Firebug is distracting there, but it's hard to live without it after you start using it. It's wonderful that all these options are here, but they're really buried. What if you just come to the catalog and you want to make an ILL request or book request or the blank form? These are almost even more buried than in the classic. So it's kind of functionally, we're thinking, why are these here? So we've been speculating about maybe putting them up in a tab, having our own requests, and then or linking more directly to them. In this case, this is something, of course, you would never do as a programmer, is link to a page that has a single link on that page, which is the link somebody wants to take. You would want to deliver them through that to where they're going. So this isn't necessarily a great example. But at our library, because of the fact that the forms are somewhat buried in the catalog, we've created a separate HTML page. Some of them direct you back into Voyager at present. Others take you to homemade forms, renewing ILL books, reserve request. We've done all this outside coding. Why are we doing this? We have an OPAC where we already send people there. We know who they are. The limitation as far as forms goes is similar to the email widget. I think there's only one no bibdat form that you can do in sysadmin. The form definitions in sysadmin anyway for OPAC forms are very constricted. It would be nice to see that turned into a module so that you could use it for multiple purposes.